both undefeated. They're both power punchers. Yes, Felix isn't a champion, but everybody knows him.
Different organization, so the fight's not going to happen.
Exactly.
That's the
so they're going to try to leave. But now, when you go to 140, who do you have sitting at 140? Remember that guy that everyone says he didn't want to face? He runs that division, Terrence Crawford. Where are you going to go? I don't know what out Mikey's going to have, how he's going to get through this. I know he's got a unify with one of these PBC guys. I get that. He's going to unify with them. But after that, if the fans demand, if the demand comes high enough, Garcia's going to have to face his nightmare.
I don't believe that anymore. The fans are apathetic.
Felix Verdejo's got a very big fan base, Lee. The Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Latins, they all know that Garcia Verdejo's the fight of the future for lightweights. You look at Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford can do 10, 13,000 anytime he fights in his hometown. He has a fan base. He's becoming a face of HBO. Those fights are big. Those fights are big for HBO. All of these guys are under the same oh, no, they're not. Mikey fought on Showtime. Excuse me. Got my networks mixed up. These fights are going to be high demand. I think Mikey's going to have to face one of his demons here in the near future. He's one fight.
He's only going to fight somebody from the PBC.
I get it, but
or if they can get somebody out of Eddie Hearn's stable. Apparently, Eddie Hearn is the only outsider that is allowed to bring fighters in against PBC fighters. I have not seen a single Top Rank, Golden Boy, or... No, that's not true.
Top Rank and L have
main events seem to work their way into PBC fights, but Top Rank and Golden Boy have nothing to do with PBC.
Yeah. Top Rank did. Lee, remember, they did the Lomachenko-Gary Russell fight. They have worked together recently.
One and done.
Well, right now they think it's going to be a matter of both promoters helping each other out. Maybe they know there's a guy that has a good name, but they don't think he's going to be as big. You put him in with the Top Rank guy, then vice versa, until there's nothing left. Until all you have are two headliners that can do nothing but make money for each other.
I think it's great that you live, and this is why I love you. This is why you're my friend, and this is why I still do the show with you. You still believe that boxing is going to do the right thing.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And I am convinced that the only reason you continue to do the show with me is because I am the polar opposite. And I am convinced that boxing will fuck us up the ass. And not only do I think they will fuck us up the ass, they will give us a date rape drug and then steal our money and then crawl out the window so we wake up broke and confused in the morning. Like, that's how I feel with some of these fights. That's not how I feel about last night's main event.
It's coming to an end.
Trust me, there are many nights where I watch boxing and I'm like, I can't believe that I even wasted a half hour on this. Like, I could be watching, I don't know, Fast and Loud. I could be watching an Overhaul an episode and I would get more enjoyment than I do out of some of these fights. That's the truth. I mean,
I hear you. But if you listen to HBO, they wonder why people fight like Vargas and Burchill did last night. You heard them questioning why they had so much heart and determination. Roy said smart fighters wouldn't even do that. They said pound for pound guys don't even want to be in that type of fight.
They don't. They want to make money, and I don't blame them because that's what boxing's become. The PBC.
I think all fighters.
The PBC changed it. And now
I think all fighters would take that challenge. I think that's bullshit. There's some guys that are so good, they don't ever get in a situation like that. But to step in the ring and say that you don't want to get hurt or you fear getting hurt, I don't buy that at all.
No, you don't have to because Bob will take care of it for you, like in the case of Terrence Crawford. When's the last time Terrence Crawford was in a nail-biting?
He's that good, though.
Yeah,
that is the point. There's some that are above all.
No, what did Bob say when it came to Terrence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao? Oh, there'll be plenty of time for that later.
No. That's Manny Pacquiao doesn't want that fight. Manny Pacquiao, if he's gonna fight Terrence Crawford, wants $25 million. He knows that's his last payday, dude. That's the only reason why that fight wasn't made. For what Manny's pay-per-view numbers are and what he's demanding for the Crawford bout. Bob Arum couldn't make that fight. He'd lose his ass. $25 million. That fight might not even make 8.
Incorrect. I think the fans would show up for that one.
Oh, no way. Manny's fans?
And by the way, no matter what you think, I still think they'd show up for Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. They would.
Oh, Floyd don't
You know
want
why?
him.
You know why? Because even though the entire island of the Philippines has been date raped and fucked up the ass by Manny Pacquiao, they'd still show up to see it again.
His numbers suck.
Not in the Philippines?
They wouldn't.
Not worldwide. That's why
Lee, he only makes $20,000 off his Filipino contract.
Well, that's like $1 billion in the U.S.
He donates all of that money. He doesn't even keep his Filipino money. No, look at. And from Mayweather last night, his interview with Jim Gray, I don't even think Mayweather wants to come back to the ring. Not only did he say there's nobody in the sport of boxing right now that can bring him out of retirement?
No, he's gonna work hard on pulling off.
I don't think he wants McGregor.
I don't think he does.
All of a sudden, Lee, he wants exactly. Where the fuck did 147 come from? 147 to 150? Then he goes, "Oh, I'll only fight him if Showtime's involved." When did that happen? When were you under Showtime?
No, of course, because it got real. When it got real? Exactly. When Dana White stepped up and went, "Okay, how about $25 million?"
And not only, that's exactly where I was leading. Because Floyd can't totally dictate the negotiations like he did in all of his last, 5 matches probably? Madonna's, Berto's, Guerrero's, Ortiz's, a 22-year-old Canelo Alvarez. Also put him at a catch weight. Listen, it ain't riding like that with McGregor. McGregor is you. McGregor is the new you, just lighter complexion. Hello?
Actually, he's more entertaining.
Yeah.
He knocks people out.
Floyd did very good for his fan base.
That's what happened between fights. Let's get to the main event, or we're never going to get to the main event, and we're never going to talk about Oscar at this rate. So The main event of the evening, Leo Santa Cruz. Hello, everybody. Mauro Ranallo back with you again. Leo Santa Cruz taking on Carl Peter Frampton. You're not going to let me have my Peter Frampton joke either, are you?
What do you mean? I didn't even catch it. Sorry, Lee. I was waiting for you
I've been doing the Peter Frampton joke since last summer.
Sorry.
And it just never sold. And I get that. You guys, nobody's letting me have the Peter Frampton joke. And I get that most of you are too young to even know who Peter Frampton is. That's cool. I'm all right with it. The Zendaya thing probably has a better shot of working. But let's talk about Carl Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz. 7-5. So the first fight was 7-5 for Frampton. This fight is 7-5 for Santa Cruz. And
I'm going to say, go ahead.
This fight was dull.
Oh, are you serious?
It wasn't the first fight. It wasn't the first fight by any stretch of the imagination.
I think if you watch the last 4 rounds of the first fight, Santa Cruz is dominating Carl Frampton since then. If you look at the rounds won and lost since round 9 of the first one, he figured him out. That was my whole story going into this fight. Was Leo Santa Cruz going to allow Carl Frampton to have the same style fight that he did in the first 7 rounds of their first match? Or was this going to be the 13th round of the first? And I thought it was the 13th round. I mean, this guy came in disciplined, throwing the jab, throwing the right hand. Every time Frampton got close to him, he was out-punched, he got outlanded. When Frampton tried to back up because he was getting hit too much, Leo threw that straight right hand and caught him almost every single time, which means he was not only winning the exchanges, but he was getting the last punch. And in the judge's eyes, that's check. That's check. You're winning this fight. He did it perfectly. He has a free, what is it? Let me see these stats. He has a 2.5-inch height advantage and a 4-inch reach advantage. You throw 1,000 punches a fight, and you're telling me Carl Frampton is going to beat you on points? No way. He won't win the trilogy either because it's going to be the same style.
Well, yeah, the guy has reach, height, and everything on Frampton.
Everything, Lee. He throws 1,000. That's all
I didn't understand in the first fight why it was such a... They were fighting in a shoot. They were literally fighting in a phone booth.
Yes.
And everybody thought, oh, it's going to happen again. No, it's not.
No way. He figured him out. If you remember, Lee, I kept saying I was upset that Santa Cruz's corner took so long to figure out the winning formula to Frampton. But they did.
You know
and in
why?
the rematch...
You know why? Because it was explained in the middle of the fight by Mauro Ranallo for no apparent reason. That's because his father is no longer in cancer. He's in remission.
Let's blame the dad. I know. I hated that.
Right in the middle of the fight?
Yes.
He's fighting spectacularly because his dad's not dying anymore. What the fuck does that have to do with him figuring out that he's a jabber?
Taller. Yeah, bigger
he's always been a long-range jabbing, bomb-throwing machine. He's modeled... Everybody who is that dimension is modeled the same way. Throw a lot of jabs, throw a big right hand. Yeah. We're not reinventing the wheel here, okay? This goes back to every weight division for everybody who's got height and reach. If you don't have muscle, because Frampton was clearly the stronger, more compact fighter and faster, Santa Cruz is a long, tall rangefinder. What am I missing here?
The only thing I think Santa Cruz could bring in the trilogy is using the lead right hand to land more power shots in his exchanges. But besides that...
Honestly, I don't even think he needed to do... If I were to do a trilogy, which they probably will, my advice, which they won't do, why... And you saw this with Klitschko. Why even throw the right hand? It opens you up.
No,
just
because
Lee... He could have jabbed all night and won that fight.
Yes, I understand that.
He absolutely could have.
But he also could have pressed it and I think put Frampton down in this fight. He had Frampton hurt many times where Frampton was just catching way too many punches. Like I said, he's losing exchanges. You know what? I know he had a lot of fans there and it was a soccer crowd and they were cheering really loud. But if you seriously watch this fight, Frampton is missing a lot of the punches that they're cheering on, and that's because they're, sitting in the top tier of the arena and really can't see what's going on in the ring. We've all been there. Exactly. And those freaking scorecards were ridiculous. Whoever had that fight a draw should be fired, right?
It was 7-5. It was 7-5.
It was not 7-5. Steve Hardwood. Bullshit.
7-5.
He got beat in every aspect of the fight.
I don't
look.
Period. Again.
Period.
Turn the sound off. 7-5.
Turn the sound off. You get 10-2, 9-3. That's what you get when you turn the sound off.
And I'm going to tell you why it was always going to be 7-5. You ready?
They're both PBC guys.
Because they won a trilogy.
Of course. No,
I know going into this fight, I'm surprised all three scorecards were not 7-5.
Lee, they almost were. They were. What was it? 115, 114.
And by the way, technically, Frampton is not a PBC guy. He
fights under that banner.
Yeah, he fights under that banner in the United States. However,
Heyman don't control him. I get it.
Right. And if you listen to the telecast, they rode the jock of Santa Cruz so hard. Like, he was winning. The rounds that Frampton won decisively, I would not have known that listening to the broadcast. That's my complaint. What happened to the announcers just calling the action in the ring?
Lee, we talk about that every week.
I know.
That's an ongoing story
right now. It is my ongoing why I hate...
I don't like the three commentators. I really don't.
Why I feel like I've had anal sex.
Did you watch the national championships for college football this year on ESPN?
I did not. Were they
if
on
you would have
Alabama's
watched,
jock?
They had 6 people. One telecast had 6 people around a table talking about the game. The other one, I believe, was 7. What? Who the fuck wants to watch a football game after work with 7 people's opinions running as the play's going?
I'll tell you how I did watch it. I watched on one of those alternative broadcasts. Yeah, I did watch a couple
insane. Whoever came up with that idea, really bad. I turned it off, Lee. I turned it off. I could not do it. They weren't even calling penalties